It is March 28th, 2018, and my name is Terry Traynor, and you're watching the Late Night Live Show right here in Chester, New Hampshire on CTV 21 and on the Narrow Street Films Facebook Live. And my computer just turned on because I forgot to shut the sound off, so my Facebook live stream just went over the air. That's like a... I don't know, it's a paradigm of some sort, hearing my voice over myself.
On.
Yeah, at least we are on, yes. This is the Late Night Live Show. We're on every Wednesday from 7 to 8. We interview comedians. We've interviewed one comedian. We're hoping to get more than one comedian. Not that the other comedian wasn't great. He was great. We could have him back, but, you know, we'd like to have more. We interview musicians, actors, filmmakers, writers, and
pretty much anybody who shakes up the artistic world around here.
We talk about the entertainment industry.
Yes, we do.
We are no slacking in our opinion about the entertainment industry.
I have lots of opinions.
You have lots of opinions,
Very
right?
many
Yeah,
opinions.
and that's why we're on cable access television, because of our opinions. But anyways, so Arnie, but on a totally different note, and how many, by a show of hands, how many of you have lived by yourself as a single individual at one point in time? All right. So I started writing down a list of you might be a single person if you cook everything on a griddle or in a microwave. All right,
Yeah.
you might be a single person. Mm-hmm. If you go to check, if you have to clean out your fridge and you have to check what year it is when you're cleaning it out, that's... I have done that before. If walking around your apartment naked is sort of a normal thing, all right?
All right, that might have been TMI.
That might have been TMI,
yeah.
right? And if you're the last person called on the invite list to like weddings and stuff like that, oh, damn it, you know, we got one extra spot we got to fill. Well, I guess we'll have Terry. And most importantly, if you are offered more food than an actual homeless person, you might be a single person.
That's a good list.
Yes, that is a good list. Yeah, no, seriously, the walk around the apartment naked thing was like a problem. I think for someone else, my neighbors probably, you know, because I didn't have curtains in my old apartment. And someone came over and said, well, what if your neighbor across the street sees you? I'm like, well, there's one of two things. One is, if he's looking that hard, honestly, if he's working that hard, because it wouldn't have been easy to look to my apartment, he deserves to see something. Like, I think he deserves to put work effort in. And there's one of two ways he's going to enjoy this. Either he's going to enjoy it by, like, hey, for whatever reason he's going to enjoy it, or he's going to go to work the next day and say, there's this jack, you know what, all right, who across the street from me, all right, who just walks around his apartment naked, and you know what his buddy at work is going to say? Why are you watching him? So this is like a joke.
Entertainment for everybody.
Yeah, this is entertainment for everyone. And this is a joke threefold, like 10, a joke I will never actually see. That'll be funny. Yeah, I used to do that when I go into hotels. I would actually steam up the hotel and write down, I'm coming for you, or something like that.
Oh, God.
In the hopes that someone, when they actually take a shower, was like either freaked out or something. Like, I set up jokes that I will never actually see, that I will hopefully laugh at someday. I'll go up into heaven, and God will say, what the hell's the matter with you? You realize how many people's lives you've messed up, all right?
Pretty much you're the only person I can picture at the pearly gates, and God comes up and just gives like a backhand to the head, like, oh, hey.
Seriously? You've seriously done this? So, how are you doing, Arnie?
I'm doing good. It's a nice evening, actually. It's not
nice evening?
snowing.
I know.
We seem to have missed our weekly snowstorm.
I know.
I'm very pleased.
Yeah,
about.
we lost one show recently because the snowstorm actually
shut us down.
And this actually is a live show. It's a live stream. This is really, we're doing this kind of in the moment.
Very exciting.
It is very exciting. And, you know, a couple shows ago, we didn't realize that we weren't on the air, and so we had issues on the air. And then I didn't realize I was actually on the air, and so while I was, like, yelling at the people in the back room, I got a message through my walkie-talkie saying, oh, by the way, you're on the air, which is quite an embarrassing moment. Yeah. But that's the thrill of being on a live show.
Anything could happen.
Yeah.
Right.
We got some cool stuff we're talking about today. Let me see, the Wasson Pond Pounder, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Let me see, we have a cool guest, Paul Lussier, who's an actor and a musician. He's coming on to play a song.
Yeah.
A song or two.
An original song. So.
Adam Griswold, the second episode of Adam Griswold's series, Suburban Spies, episode 2. We'll be playing that today. We have our trailer trash segment. And so, so it should be a fun show.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I got a sneak preview of the song that Paul's going to sing tonight, and I think everyone will like it. It sounds really good. And it's got a story behind it, which is the best kind of song.
It's always got to have a story.
Yeah. It's better if it has a story.
All right. Late Night Live Show. We are going to be right back. Stay tuned. And we are back. Late Night Live Show with your hosts Terry Traynor and KJ Traynor, and we talk about all forms of entertainment within the entertainment industry, everything but photography. It's not really entertainment, it's just art, which is fine and all, just it doesn't make for interesting television. Neither does most of what I say. So, but speaking of entertainment, Arnie, you've done Tough Mudder before.
I have. I cried my way through 2 Tough Mudder obstacle courses
no,
this time.
so it was kind of fun, which is like an obstacle course for, people, running over mud and muddy things and climbing through things.
Climbing
and
things, falling off of things, jumping off of things. It's a lot of fun.
But here in Chester, New Hampshire, I guess we have just decided we're going to do our own sort of Tough Mudder thing called the Wason Pond Pounder. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a 5K race that gives back to the community. It gives back to the Chester Charitable Foundation. 100% goes to the local area. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot of fun. Actually, they've done this a couple times before. It's like a mini Tough Mudder in our own town. It's going to be on May 5th.
Semi-Tough Mudder.
Well, actually, the obstacles are actually really tough. My coworker's done it a few times.
Oh, really?
He says that they're murder.
Oh, okay.
In a good way. In a very good way.
Right.
So I think we do have a video that explains all about it. So,
all right. So we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Watch the video. Check it out. Anything to help support the local community and the fact we're using their television station, we probably should do this. So,
plug it.
Wason Pond Pounder information video. Yeah. Sorry. Go for it.
With us right now is Maria Vale. We're going to talk about the Wason Pounder, maybe a little bit about how it started. And you've been involved with the Wason Pounder for how long now, Maria?
This is going to be our 8th event. Yes, so we started in 2011. We actually did fall of 2011, and then we decided to change it to the spring. So starting in the spring of 2012, we've done an annual event. Since then, this event started as a fundraiser for the fields, the athletic fields at Wason Pond. So the first few events raised money to level the fields over there for the folks in town.
Kitchen table.
This started at our kitchen table. That is a true story. There was a group of us sitting around that had recently done an obstacle course race as participants, and we started talking about whether or not we could pull off organizing one of our own. And I would like to go on the record as being one of the objectors, saying I think this is way too much of an undertaking, and I was outvoted. So here we are.
Let me ask you, 8 years, this will be the 8th year.
Yes.
Dollars and cents in total. Do you have the number off the top of your head? How much has been raised and given away?
We are approaching the $200,000 raised outside of what we raised for the field. So we funded the fields project with about $90,000 of raised money. And then once we finished that, we began a separate nonprofit called the Chester Charitable Foundation. And what we do there is we raise the money through the Wason Pond Pounder, and then each of us on the board picks a charity that's meaningful to us and donates the money. It has to be a local charity. So we've donated, as of the end of 2017, almost $140,000 to local charities. Mm-hmm. And after this year, we'll be closing in on $200,000.
And does that include that $90,000?
No, not including the fields.
So really, 6 years, at the end of the 6th year. How many years?
Yeah, this will be the 8th one.
The 8th one.
Yep. So we're at about $250,000. Probably, I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but yeah.
That's a lot of money each year.
It's really exciting, and I'm so glad I got outvoted because the event itself is so much fun. It is exhausting physically, mentally, emotionally, but it is so wonderful. And you know, Carl, you volunteer there every year. You're one of our returners every year.
How many volunteers are there? Do you know?
There are about 130 volunteers we need every year.
From parkers to people check people in, people out on the course as they run along.
Yep.
The pounder this year is May 5th.
Yes.
So it's set up as May.
Setup is the weekend before we pull out all the obstacles, and then the day before we actually put them all together. And that's a dawn till dusk undertaking.
But that's not all of it, because where's your husband today?
Today he's building obstacles.
But this is a month away.
This is March 24th,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So we have a crew, our obstacle crew,
Yep.
that volunteers their time every weekend throughout the winter to repair last year's obstacles, build new obstacles. We like to rotate in new things so that we always have something new and exciting for runners that come back year after year. They don't want to do the exact same thing every year. So we always have new obstacles that we build or rotate in that we had pulled out for a few years. So right now they're doing an inventory of what else needs to be built and what's being repaired, and they've got a couple new things up their sleeve for this year.
So what's new this year? Oh no, you can't tell
can't
us
tell
because
you.
this is going to be a surprise.
It'll be a surprise.
So look
Yes.
forward to what's new this. Look forward to what's new this year
Yes.
at the Wasson Pounder.
Yes.
And the Wasson Pounder is at
It is at Wasson Pond.
in what town?
In Chester, New Hampshire. Yep. And we have lots of pictures on our Facebook page, which is Wasson Pond Pounder. We also have a website, wassonpondpounder.com, and Wasson is W-A-S-O-N, one S, wassonpondpounder.com. And on our website, you can register to run. You can register to volunteer, which, as I said, we need 130 people to pull this off.
Yep.
Never hurts to have a few extra either. And if you're not sure about committing for either one and you just want to come down and check it out, we'd love to have spectators at the start-finish area too. There's a lot of things you can see from the start-finish area. There's a lot of obstacles in that general walking vicinity.
I just noticed that Wasson Pond Pounder.
Yes.
Can you say that 3 times quickly?
Wasson Pond Pounder, Wasson Pond Pounder, Wasson Pond Pounder.
Good.
How's that?
Great. Anything else you'd like to add, Maria?
Just how much we enjoy all the people that come out every year. The people that are drawn to our event are truly really great people that are also looking to give back to the community. There are some competitive people that run the 9 o'clock. That's our first start time. We allow 75 people every 20 minutes to go onto the course. We try to keep that number to 75 so that we don't get backups at obstacles, or we try to reduce or prevent any injuries because of overcrowding on the course. So we send off 75 people every 20 minutes. The 9 a.m. start time is for our most competitive runners. There are cash prizes available for the fastest 3 men and the fastest 3 women. And then after that, every 20 minutes, we send off 75 people that just want to do it for fun. And our last 3 are 12:40, 1, and 1:20. And those 3 are reserved for ages 8 and up to run with a family member or some sort of an adult. We are one of the only obstacle course races that allows kids on the full course, because we have seen year after year that they are at least as capable as the adults to complete this course. In fact, my first year thinking I was going to be waiting for my kids, they were gone. I couldn't see them. The other thing I'd like to mention is we also have the opportunity for at-risk youth to come and do our course at no charge. So when people sign up, there's an option to add $5 onto your registration, and that covers the cost or offsets a little bit of the cost for us to bring in kids from at-risk youth programs in Manchester and Concord and other. We actually have an outreach program we're looking into include a couple more programs this year. Those kids are typically there in the middle of the day with chaperones that also don't have to pay anything to enter and run the course. So
sounds like fun. That's before the black flies get here?
that's in my barn, I have a whole box of bug spray that we bring every year,
Okay.
just in case we need it.
Because when you park the cars, people ask about black flies and ticks.
Yeah, well, they should be prepared for either.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's it from the Wasson Pond Pounder. That's it from the Wasson Pond Pounder. Wasson Pond Pounder. That is hard to say. Go to the website. Go to their Facebook page, Wasson Pond Pounder, and see more about the pounder. You can see pictures, just so you can see what goes on, and take a visit down there. It's fun, and you'll enjoy yourself.
And you are live. Well, we're live. You're here watching television. Wow, I'm tired right now. Sorry about that. You're watching the Late Night Live TV show with your hosts, Terry Traynor and KJ Traynor. And that was infomercials of sorts about the Wasson Pond Pounder, which I was pronouncing Wason Pond, which is pretty bad considering that I've lived in this town for 30 years.
Yeah, it's like Watson, but without the T.
Right.
So that's how I remember it.
Man, that's cool.
Yeah, so it looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Wish I could go. I can't.
Watson without the T.
Watson without the T.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, sort of like an American sidekick for Sherlock Holmes.
You know what's interesting?
That was a joke. Don't worry, nobody got it.
Very good, Arnie. I'm sorry. Can we give her a pathetic a clap for that? Can we possibly do? Yes. Right. Yeah. There we go. Yes. All right. Jolly not good. All right. We have our special guest in studio, musical guest Paul Lussier, a actor, a musician, and he's going to be performing his song "Mr. Hurt." And you said there's a small story with this, right?
Yeah, I was at a local bar watching a band, and there was a guy sitting there who was by himself, essentially, in a room full of people. Mm-hmm. And from the look on his face, I wrote this fictional tale of his life.
Wow.
Put it into music, so.
Yeah, I've done the same thing, too, except I got in trouble for following the guy home, asking him details. All right, anyways, go ahead with your song.
Okay. Sits at the bar with his back to the band, and his face is as red as his shirt. He sits at the bar with a drink in his hand. I think I'll call him Mr. Hurt. It's a hot summer night and the skirts are real short, and the ladies are looking to dance. He sits shoulder to shoulder, yet he's still alone. His empty stare looks like he's in a trance. I'll bet he once had a girl who has since gone away. He knows he'll never see her again. And he's looking as if she got married today and ran off with his only friend. Yeah, the band is so good and the music is loud, and the ball game is on the TV. And he sits there alone in this hot singles crowd, someone I hope that I'll never be. But I can't help but think that I've seen him before, as he coldly stares back at my face. So I take one more glance as I walk to the door. I just have to get out of this place. As he's drinking and thinking of another man's wife, down his face rolls a lonely tear. His apartment is empty like the rest of his life, so he'd rather be sitting here. He'd rather be sitting here. Thank you.
Mr. Hurt, original piece. One of the questions we have here is what inspires your songwriting, and I think we answered that question a little bit earlier when you were talking about just seeing an individual and a story just popping right into your head. But I would want to ask you though, who would you say is one of the most inspirational artists?
I'm probably most influenced by the Beatles.
Really? Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard something about a studio that you're a part of recently, or you're becoming a part of. Or did I get false information through my ear on this walkie-talkie? You asked him a question about this. If that's the case, then I need to go back and get a bigger man of the producer. He said, asked him about the studio. I said, okay, it's not on the list. I'm looking down here, like, I haven't got my glasses on. But anyways, moving on from that.
So you said the Beatles. Now I know you have a tribute band that you do.
A Beatles tribute band.
And what's that called?
Help.
Help? Okay.
Help. We played here in Chester at the Chester Fair in September.
Oh, very cool. Lori Hart says, awesome job, Paul.
Oh.
In the Facebook live room. We also want to welcome John Belch, Pat Tierney, Barbara Spencer, but she specifically mentions you.
Lori Hart is watching. That's cool. She's, if I can talk about Lori Hart's project. Lori and Caroline Hart are a married couple, and they have a story about kind of a snag with immigration and one of them not getting back into the country. They wrote a short film. I'm in the film.
Oh.
I play I guess the supervisor in the customs office who denies the entry. And I know you're short on time, so I won't get into it, but it's called Status Unknown, so hopefully you'll check that out. That's going to be in some festivals, so it's not made public yet, and they're working on funding for a feature film. They have a lot of support from people like Andy McDowell, Ellen DeGeneres. There's a lot of big names
Lori,
out there.
you just got a free plug on the show. Like, you should be on the show
she
plugging.
deserves it.
So, yeah. Lori, if you are still watching, we'd love to have you on the show. Please look us up. But what's the name of her company? If you just type it in, Lori.
It's Heart to Heart Productions, I believe.
Oh, that's so cute. Like the TV show. Heart to Heart.
Yes, exactly. With the 2 in the middle.
So I guess that segues us into one of the questions of, you do acting as well.
I do.
Yeah. And you had a couple auditions today?
I had a couple auditions today. When you guys asked me for questions or things to talk about, that wasn't on the list because I never know when I'm going to get them. And I found out last night that I had one, and when I got down to Boston Casting, there were 2 more there that I kind of got myself into. So I was unprepared for those. And but if I'm going to make the drive from New Hampshire down to Boston, and there are roles that I'm right for, I might as well try my best to.
I remember Boston Casting too, so I know the feeling. It's like you gotta jump when when it's there. It's like, I gotta be there for the audition.
And you don't, so I learned my lines driving in the car, which is usually what I do. It's like I get these things the night before, and I was out playing music last night and didn't sleep much and got up and had as many cups of coffee as I could fit in between when I had to, get ready and drive to Boston, and then I just. I learned my lines in the car and got in the audition room and messed them up, and but it's the way it goes.
Can't
win them all.
What would be the ultimate acting role for you? Would you say?
Anything in any major film where I had the lead role. How about that?
All right,
doesn't matter.
All right.
A comedy, a horror movie. I don't care.
I always thought it'd be funny in a Jurassic Park movie. You'd just be running, and a guy with rubber legs would be chasing you.
Yeah.
I thought that would be cool.
It'd be like being in front of the green screen. You just jogging like on a treadmill, and then they superimpose the dinosaurs. But I'm a long way off. I'm trying to get a speaking role in a major film. I've had major roles in not so major films, and I'm trying to get into work my way up essentially.
So every actor has his type. Like, I look like I should be in a Hallmark movie. That's, if you look, I look like I should be the guy being the mechanic in the Hallmark movie who clearly doesn't know crap about mechanic. Just has grease properly placed on his hands and on his face. That's like my role. Not a lot of Hallmark movies around here. But what would you say your type is?
It's it's so hard. What I think my type is not my type because I think I'm right for certain parts, and then the casting people are like, "Oh, that's not you," and I'm like, "Really?" So I can tell you what people typecast me as all the time, and that's the dad, or the executive, or the banker, or the lawyer.
So you're like the heavy, the guy who comes in and like.
I'm the well-dressed heavy, not literally too, but not the tough guy, bad guy, mobster.
See, I would like to
Nobody
see you play
sees me
district
like
attorney.
that, and I would love to do that.
See, like, I was a big fan of the show Justified, and I see you being, like, almost like the district attorney, the FBI guy that comes in to investigate Raylan Givens for, like, something overly violent. Like, that's what I see you play.
Played an attorney. My largest role was playing a defense attorney
Oh, cool.
in a film
Did you
called
win?
Justice Is Mine. I did win. We won the case.
Oh, damn,
Nice.
we just killed the end of the movie, Arnie.
It was in the script, so I gave it
Wow.
away. Now you won't want to see it.
Yeah, totally. That's it.
That's it. I'm off the show.
That's over. I'm gonna drown myself in Watson Pond. All right. So going back to your music, what's the best way for audiences to get to find you or to find out your work? Or
I keep a live calendar essentially on my website, so it's constantly updated. I go out and I play a gig, and the next day I take it off the top of the list, and then the next one is the next one that's coming up. And as I get booked, I just kind of plug them into wherever they go. So, there are dates from starting April 5th is the next one I have, down into September. So I'm pretty much booked through the summer.
Wow.
But
where are you playing on April 5th?
April 5th, I'm at La Coretta's in Londonderry.
Cool.
April 7th, I'll be at the Millyard Brewery in Nashua. Just opened up, and they just started having live music. And then April 14th, I'm at the Country Tavern in Nashua.
Cool.
That's the next three.
Oh, very cool.
But
all right. So
if
do you? Oh, I'm sorry.
I just want to say, if you come see me, the song that I just did, I might do that, but often I don't do my original music when I play. People want to hear songs that they can sing along to or songs that they know the words to. So I do a real lot of cover songs, and I also throw in some lost one-hit wonders to surprise people and keep people on their toes. So it's not always what everyone expects. So, but it's usually cover music.
Okay.
So what's your what would you say is your most kind of funny, memorable experience as a musician?
Wow, they're embarrassing. Is that what you want? Memorable?
No. Well, okay.
I played.
Which story would you find fun to repeat? Let's just say that. Yeah.
I guess I do the Beatles tribute thing. I got flown to Toronto to fill in for Beatlemania. Oh wow! And it was like this New Year's Eve show, and I played on the stage with other guys who were doing the Beatles thing. We did the full shtick with the wigs and all that. So we were the Beatles to all these New Year's Eve partiers at the Westin Hotel up there, and there was a Roy Orbison tribute, and there was an Elvis tribute. And this kid, other than the fact that he wasn't 6 feet tall, he was like 5'6".
Yeah.
He looked exactly like a young Elvis. I mean, he just looked like him. He had the moves, and he sounded like him. I don't know where he is now, but it was kind of cool. So that was kind of a big deal, like to actually have somebody fly me somewhere and put me up in a hotel. So
I hate to cut you on this, but we're just about running out of time. Paul, thank you so much for coming. I love that song. What's the name of your website?
It's I wish it was simple, but it's Paul Lussier on Wix.com. So I don't have.
Perfect. No, that's awesome.
I gave you guys the address to put up. I can't remember how it is.
On the Facebook page.
And you can find me on Facebook too. I put all my events, whether it's a film or a gig, on Facebook.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Paul.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you. Are we off air?
I know this is a little strange, but understand I had to bring you back with me. I made the choice to involve you in my assignment, and now you probably know a little bit more than you actually should.
Who are you? Really, I mean.
I am part of a clandestine organization that's devoted to uncovering far-reaching conspiracies and stifling them before they get out of hand.
And in English, what is that?
Basically, I'm a secret agent who works at a regional level, but we prefer not to use that term because it makes the job sound a little more glamorous than it actually is. But now that my cover's been blown, you basically have two choices. We can either wipe your memory, like we did with the coffee shop girl, or you can join us.
I'm honestly not sure which option I prefer.
Follow me. As it happens, we're in need of a new field agent. My previous partner got in too deep going undercover at a Renaissance fair.
Oh, what happened?
We're not sure, but it involved a cactus, a sewing needle, a blacksmith, and a ventriloquist dummy. Needless to say, he ended up dead.
Oh.
A group of us have set up shop here in North Riverfield because we believe that it's the base of operations for illegal activity, the extent of which we don't know yet, but we think it's a big deal. Have they been interrogating Bradley?
Oh yeah, he's still getting them to run around, but they have their methods.
Good. It's too bad that it had to go down like that. He just caught on way too fast.
Hey, it happens.
Dirk, this is Greg. He's our computer guy.
Hi.
Hey, that's me. Haven't seen the sun in months.
This is Dirk. He's the guy from the coffee shop. I need you to start setting up some training scenarios for him because if he's going to join us, we need to get him up to speed fast.
Hey, I'm on it, but do I have to be the one who...
Who else is there, Greg?
No one, which is why I'll do it.
Eliza?
This is the new recruit?
Yeah, this is Dirk. Greg's putting together a training scenario for him right now.
Okay.
This is Eliza. She does all of our costume design and puts together all of our disguises.
Good to meet you.
So Dirk, most of the assignments we do are along the lines of what I did at the coffee shop. We put on disguises and take on new identities in order to discreetly extract information from people. Usually they don't suspect anything, although that guy today was an exception.
Okay, here's the breakdown.
Perfect.
So what will we be doing for our costumes? Some good stuff here.
What exactly is going on?
The three of us are going to put you through a series of trainings to see if you've got what it takes to join us. That is, of course, unless you'd prefer to have your memory wiped.
Bring on the training.
Here, have a mint.
Sure. Wait. The last time you gave me a mint, didn't I?
Okay, we're going to run through a series of scenarios similar to what you'd encounter in the field. Greg will play the role of the person we're interrogating, and the goal is to extract as much information out of him as possible without blowing our cover.
Okay.
All right, the first scenario we're gonna start pretty simple. Greg is going to play a convenience store clerk who is suspected of stealing money out of the cash register and funneling it into shadowy organizations. You and I are going to be a down on our luck couple who's in the store to buy lottery tickets.
That seems like a bit more detail than necessary.
Well, the goal is to create a well-rounded character. That's what you do in your novels, right?
I guess, but this is completely different.
Not really, just act like you're writing dialogue.
Sure. Let's do this.
Greg?
Hello. What may I help you with?
Yeah, we'd like to buy some lottery tickets, please. Which ones are the good ones, Hank?
Oh, I've always had good luck with the ones with the picture of the pirate and the treasure chest.
Ah, the Blue Lagoon. How many would you like?
4, please. We want to increase our chances of a big payout, you know?
Of course. We're all trying to get rich here.
Really? Are you trying to get rich?
What do you mean?
It's too soon. You want to try to work your questions into the conversation as organically as possible.
Oh, sorry.
All right, next scenario. All right. Now, Greg is a waiter in a 1920s themed restaurant. He's running an illegal gambling operation in the back room, and you have to get him to confess.
I'm a gangster, see? Can I get you something to drink, see?
Why, yes, but first let me just comment on what a lovely establishment you have here.
Yes. All the period details are so very authentic.
Period details? What do you mean? See? I'm a gangster, see? I'm sorry, management wants me to stay in character when I'm on the clock, but yeah, they did a good job, huh?
Yes, it's like we've taken a trip back in time. You almost expect there to be actual gangsters in the back room.
Well, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret.
Better. That would have worked on some people, but not everybody.
Okay.
Right, what's next? Okay, now we're at a fantasy convention, and Greg is a famous author whose book has been found in the possession of multiple assassins.
Are the assignments normally this outlandish?
Not usually, but you never know. Oh my God, Preston Landers, we're your biggest fans!
Are you now?
Yes, we've even read your obscure stuff, like the short story collection about dragons who play volleyball.
Oh yes, I remember that one. I was pretty starved for inspiration when I cooked that one up.
But your latest, The Travels and Journeys of Eldrick the Stonemason, by far your masterpiece. It was brilliant.
Well, thank you. I'm glad someone feels that way. Its reputation has been tarnished a bit by some recent events I'm sure you've heard about.
Oh yes, we've heard about them. It seems your latest novel's become a favorite of murderers.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't even know what they're connecting with in there.
Are you sure you don't?
Stop. He's innocent. If he was guilty, he would have dodged the question. This happens from time to time.
Is there an answer key in this or something?
No peeking. Okay, last one. In this one, Greg is a mall Santa Claus, and we're applying to be his elves. He is suspected of kidnapping children and selling them into slavery overseas.
Well, that's rather dark.
The assignments get dark. It's part of the job.
Ho, 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 ho! Merry Christmas!
Hi! We hear you're looking for some new elves.
Oh yes, Santa's always looking for new elves. There's so much work to be done.
Well, we're just fantastic when it comes to spreading Christmas cheer.
Yes, you'll be doing quite a bit of that, in a manner of speaking.
Oh, our goal is to bring joy and happiness to all the children of the world. You remember that boy we helped last year, don't you?
Of course, that boy. Oh, what a sad, sad story. His parents had just been murdered by each other, and he'd been forced to live with his alcoholic aunt. Things were really in rough shape for this boy. And all he wanted for Christmas was a balloon. Just a balloon, that's all. And so we ran into him at this very mall, and he told us his story, and we bought him a balloon. We made Christmas just a little merrier for this one child.
Oh my God, what have I done? What have I gotten myself into? I've done such a bad thing.
Impressive.
Really? That? I was just making crazy stuff up. I mean...
Well, that's what we do. We make stuff up. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But you seem to have a knack for improvisation.
Well, I'm kind of enjoying this. I definitely prefer more of this to getting my memory wiped.
Well, welcome to the team then.
Really? It's that easy? Just...
Things are starting to get desperate. It's putting a lot of pressure on me. We need someone right now.
It's playing the intro. All right.
You're on now.
I think we are on, you see, because it wasn't on that screen there, so I don't know. So it's definitely a delay, and I probably sat here just staring at the camera for a very long amount of time. And yeah, that was the case. But anyways, we finally got an intro for our segment called Trailer Trash. So welcome to the Late Night Live Show with hosts Terry Traynor and KJ Traynor, and our special guest Derek Foley, who always comes in now for Trailer Trash. It's going to be like our thing now, you know? So a fellow movie enthusiast. And yeah, so I talked about for the past couple weeks this new segment, Trailer Trash, and we're going to have an intro. And I kept talking about how I was going to design one. And I didn't design one. Joe designed one. And now that's our segment.
Go, Joe.
And I
Right.
completely forgot that it was going to play. So I think I just stared at the camera for like a minute and a half straight without saying anything. Totally live. Anyways, all right. Our first trailer up for Trailer Trash. If you're wondering what Trailer Trash segment is we talk about upcoming movies and we decide whether we're going to trash them. We usually give a thumbs up or a thumbs down, 2 thumbs up or 2 thumbs down, 1 thumb sideways, another thumb sideways. 2 thumbs in the eye is an extreme case, which was brought in by Dan DeVideo, of a film you really don't want to see. And the first one up is Ocean's 8. Ocean's 8, written and directed by Gary Ross, starring Sandra Bullock, Cate Blanchett, Anne Hathaway, Dakota Fanning. And the only reason why I'm excited about this film is supposedly Matt Damon is in it.
Yeah, I did hear that.
Yes. Now, Ocean's 8 is a reboot, a remake,
Like a reboot.
of kind of a reboot of the Ocean's 11 series, which was a remake of the original Ocean's 11 movie that had the Rat Pack. But
Right.
the one from the past, from the early 2000s, there's 3 of them, Ocean's 11, 12, and 13. I had George Clooney, Matt Damon, Brad Pitt. I'm a big fan of these things. Directed by Steven Soderbergh, who I'm also a huge fan of. And Gary Ross, who I don't know who he is and don't really care. And this stars Sandra Bullock, who I'm a fan of, Cate Blanchett, who I'm a fan of, Anne Hathaway, who I'm a fan of, Dakota Fanning, who I'm a fan of, Matt Damon, who I'm a fan of. And this movie looks like crap. With all that going for it, I think this movie looks like total crap. It is totally, hey, girls are gonna can do the same thing boys do, and so what we're gonna do is just rip off another story, and you can't even find 11 women who can get along. Are you kidding me? It has to be 8, all right? So, anyways.
Well, there's a flip side to that. Maybe we only needed 8, where guys needed 11. You could argue that.
You could argue that.
I wouldn't argue that.
Yeah, no. So Derek is like seething right now. I could see his like neck muscles are tensing up right there. So I'm assuming you have an opinion about this film.
Not really. No, actually,
yeah.
When I first saw it, I was like, this intro scene looks very familiar. So I got to give it a lot of credit for its originality. Not. Yeah. Just not feeling it, man. Just not feeling it. Cat burglars, it's like you said, it's a replay of an exact story, just different characters. There's like nothing original about it. There's nothing.
Yeah. Ocean's 11, the estrogen edition. Come on.
Oh my God.
Come on, all right?
Yeah.
All right, this would be like doing, I don't know, Jane Eyre, the testosterone edition. Like, I don't know what that would look like.
Jim Eyre.
Jim Eyre.
Yeah, I just don't think it's going to fly.
I don't think so. And, I'm not against, beyond if you took out the name, the blatant stealing from the original Ocean's film, I will say this, the film actually looks like it could be fun, but the fact that it is a blatant thievery of the other film is just not interesting to me.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, sometimes they do like when they do a reboot or when they do a gender swap,
Right.
they actually make it look more interesting because let's see how they can do it. But I feel like Hollywood's like, oh, we got to do something for the girls now. What do we have in our back catalog? Because we did Ghostbusters. Yeah, we'll do that with women. And we got Ocean's 8. Let's do that, Like, I don't know.
We just might see Raiders of the Lost Ark with, I don't know, what would you call Indy?
Kentucky
Angelina Jones? I don't know.
Angelina Jones, right? Yeah.
Isabella Jones.
Isabella Jones. There we go. Isabella Jones. There we go. Raiders of the Lost Ark.
No. New Jersey Jane. Like that's what. That's what.
Actually, I want to see that.
I mean, the thing is, you have Tomb Raider. It doesn't say Raiders of the Lost Ark Tomb Raider. It's something completely separate. It's got its own originality. It's something that you can say, all right, I can buy into that. I can like that. But to just take off something that already has a tried and true thing and then just flip characters.
And the real tragic part is it's like a really great cast.
It's a phenomenal cast,
I'd love to see these
right.
women do something, anything other than this. It'd be like, that would be great.
Right.
Yeah.
The fact that they're stealing jewelry just makes me want to laugh. Of course you are. You're cat burglars who steal jewelry.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what we do when we're girls. You know, I mean,
It just makes perfect sense.
Yeah, of course. So,
Because, you can easily hawk that piece of jewelry. I mean,
or wear it.
Nobody's
I mean,
gonna. It's not traceable or anything. It's like, hey, look at this. This looks familiar, doesn't it? Look at my nice piece of jewelry. Or sell at a pawn shop. Like, you're not gonna get caught with
Who
that.
wore it best, the original owner or me? Like, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know. I'm just not.
And here's the thing about it, okay? All right. If a girl steals a man from another girl, all right, they want to let the whole world know they stole that man, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, I know this is a real issue with like burglars in general, but tell me, a woman steals jewelry from another woman, she's going to want to let everyone else know that she now has it. Like, if you think about it logically, you can't wear it, as you said, so...
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to break it down to something else.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. It's just like.
All right, so Arnie, we'll have you do this as the resident woman in this.
Yeah, sorry, girls, but this is just no.
Oh, double thumbs
no.
down. Wow.
Nope.
Okay.
And I love Sandra Bullock, but no, this is just dumb.
All right. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I was gonna go one down and one in the eye, but I think I may just have to do double in the eye. Yeah, that's.
So what does the audience think?
Is a thumbs up, thumbs down, to Ocean, thumbs down, thumbs down. Yeah, in the middle. All right, we got a guy who's he's in the middle. All right. Okay.
More open-minded than me.
More open-minded. Yes. The Late Night Live Show. We're not really all that open-minded. All right. Up next is Overboard.
All right.
Overboard. Let's roll that trailer. Directed by Bob Fisher and Rob Greenberg, guys who are responsible for Wedding Crashes, We Are the Millers, Meet Dave, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. All those except for Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Half of those. Sorry, I don't know why I said all of those. Wedding Crashes is good. We Are the Millers was awesome. Meet Dave, haven't seen. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, I haven't seen. Starring Anna Faris, Ava Longoria, and Emily Madison. This is essentially a remake of the original Overboard with Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn from 1987, which is a great movie. We talked about it has a very creepy plot, but it's pulled off very well.
Yeah, it's a really creepy plot.
Right.
Which is why I'm okay with this reboot, because the gender swap takes a little of that creep factor out of the plot.
Yes.
Just a little bit, and
Right.
it's not quite so bad. So I'm okay with this one, even though I wasn't okay with Ocean's 8.
I like Anna Faris because Anna Faris has no problem making fun of herself. She looks really good in this role. She looks really funny in this role, and I don't recognize the other actor, but he looks good. And this looks just like
Eugenio. Eugenio.
Yeah, yeah. I don't recognize him. But this looks really funny.
Yeah.
Classically slapsticky. It just.
The true humor I see in this is the poetic justice. If you have this unlikable person who abuses his position of power and is just an overall dirtbag, and karma catches up to him. You always kind of like to be that fly in the wall when you know somebody that just really is just a devious person. You just would say, I wish to see you get yours coming.
Yeah.
And in a comical way, this is kind of, you see that where she totally flips it all around on him and just makes him look like she tools him the whole time.
And you're right. I think this is one of those cases where a very healthy gender swap.
Yes.
Because the original one, even though the original one is a very good movie, I really like it.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, and very delicately played. But if you know the plot, there's a woman the original one, a real rich woman who's a real jerk, loses her memory, and so the guy who she ended up screwing over because she ended up destroying his business and all of his tools and everything like that, he decides no one was coming to pick her up at the hospital, no one was claiming her because she's such a jerk, her rich family wanted nothing to do with her. He decided he was going to get her convinced that she was his wife and make her do all of the house chores and everything like that. And it's a romance story. They eventually end up falling in love and whatnot, even after she gets her memory back. But I think the role reversal with this, the gender reversal, which we talked about last week, I think is really good. I want to say hi, really quick. I want to say hi to Elliot Baker, Jared Serial. I know him. I know you just as Jared. Don't know how to pronounce your last name. Tom Brew just joined the Facebook Live room. Hello, Tom. Welcome to Late Night Live TV. And so, yeah, Arnie?
So, like I said, this one seems to be adding new stuff to the table, so I'm okay with the gender swap reboot because it actually looks like they're taking it in a somewhat new direction. So I'm going to give this one probably a 1.5 thumbs.
Okay.
I do want to see it. Probably 2 thumbs. Let's give it 2 thumbs. I really want to see this one. So.
2 thumbs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just be different. I'll do a thumb and a half.
All right.
Yeah, I think this is. I think this could be a really fun movie.
In the audience here.
Anyone? Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Who,
Right.
2 thumbs down.
Down. Right.
Really? You're gonna do a neutral? This is the same guy who did a neutral for Ocean's 8. All right. You're gonna do a thumbs down for this. All right. Now we switch. Too late, pal. Too late. It is in the can. All right. It is in the can. Wow. All right. Okay. Yeah. No. I agree. And if you think about it, this film has this is a remake, a reboot of Ocean's 8. A remake of Overboard. This is the week of Easter, which is about rebirth. So let's go into another story that has to do with the level of someone being reborn to a degree. I Feel Pretty is our next trailer. Roll that trailer. Okay. Directed by Abby Cohn, Mark Silverstein, who are responsible for films like Never Been Kissed, How to Be Single, and The Vow. Big shocker. I ain't never seen any of those. All right. Stars Amy Schumer, Michelle Williams, and Rory Scovel. Now, Rory Scovel, I want to take a moment to talk about Rory Scovel. He's done some Comedy Central stuff. I actually saw him perform at a comedy podcast in Los Angeles. He's a very funny guy. And I was on the set of this film because it filmed right in Massachusetts, and I got to meet him, and he was really cool. I actually got to meet Amy Schumer too. And she's a little shorter than I thought, but so I was on the set of this film and couldn't tell you anything about the film being on the set because I spent most of the time in holding. But this film, I'm going to let you start talking about this film first, Arnie.
Okay, so essentially it's about a woman who's not, the usual standard of beauty. Let's just put it that way. She's obsessed with trying to become more beautiful and ends up hitting her head and believes that she is now the most beautiful woman on the planet. And the story is focusing on how this perception of hers changes her life, how because she now thinks she's beautiful, life starts to change around her and whether or not it's a real change. So I actually really, really like this concept. I'm not a huge fan of Amy Schumer generally, just I find her humor's a little too crass for me, but this movie I really want to see, and not just because you were sweeping in the background of one scene. That's a highlight. That is a highlight.
Yeah, way to bring that up, Arnie.
Yeah.
I was actually listed. I'm going to take a moment to say this. So this is my first time. I was desperate for money, so I was like, I will take whatever gig came up, and they said, we want you to come in and be an extra on the set. Yeah, sure. It was like $80 a day or something. Like it was like it shows you how much I needed money at this point in time. I was like, sure, fine. They sent me a message saying you're going to be the hero janitor. So I go up on set and they go, all right, yo, you're the hero janitor. I'm like, yeah, sure. They go, what's that? I'm like, I have no idea. And so then I had people like coming up to me on set as I'm just like waiting, like reading a book. They're like, you're the hero janitor? Yeah, what's that all about? I'm like, I don't know. Like, and so there was this other young kid who was clearly trying to get his, who has a SAG card and he's all proud of that. And you could tell he was clearly mad that I was the hero janitor and he wasn't. Now, like there was no, I stood in front of a bathroom door as Amy Schumer came walking out. Like that was what the hero janitor did. Okay. Now, but it was just like the whole day, it was like, oh my God, what's the hero janitor about? What's his story? Like, I have no idea. Like, they sent me a thing, hero janitor, dress like a janitor, show up here, we'll have food. Like, that was all I really noticed. So yeah. But yeah, continue on with your...
That's pretty much it. I actually do really want to see it. I think it's a good concept. It's just kind of interesting, and it actually looks, I think, pretty funny as well.
Okay.
So,
Derek?
Not much to say about this, honestly.
Yeah?
No. Not really. Wasn't feeling it.
No.
I tried to pretend like, okay, well, maybe.
It is kind of a girl thing. It's not something maybe that's relatable.
Yeah, well, I mean, sure, when you're younger, you always think, I'm going to be a rock star, and there are going to be millions of women who are just going to scream your name.
Right.
But,
wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think we're going to get this or less.
Okay, so I have a couple feelings about this film. One is I read the plot and thought that's a pile of crap because I couldn't even understand what the description was, and it wasn't until I saw the trailer. And when I saw the trailer, I'm like, oh, I still really had no idea what the heck was going on. And then finally sitting down with you, you explained to me how you were excited. We talked about this film beforehand, and I was like, oh. And it took like 2 rounds of talking to you before I finally figured out what the hell was going on in the plot. Like, okay, so it's just her, perception of herself. Okay. One thing I was surprised by was it didn't look as horrible as I thought it was going to look. Which is
that's promising.
which is terrible to say, but it didn't look as terrible. And actually, I will say this, in the trailer, I don't mind Amy Schumer so far in the trailer of this film. It looks like it could have some funny parts. I am not overly excited about it. I probably won't go see it in theaters, but
you're in it. You're the hero janitor.
Yeah, I'm the hero janitor.
I mean, people are gonna be like stopping you in the aisle to get your autograph because
I'll probably ask honestly my girlfriend probably wouldn't even want to see this movie come to think of it, actually. I'm pretty sure she wouldn't even want to see it. So yeah, but say if she wanted to go see it, I'd go see it with her. But I'd probably just have to see it just to see if the hero character made it into the final cut. Though it was funny because we're filming this is way more interesting, I think, than the movie. We're filming on this with an actual public street. And so I got to be sweeping in the background. Well, people in the town actually thought that I was really like working for the town. So they actually come up going, what's going on? I'm like, a movie, and you're sort of on set right now. They're like, is that why you're not really cleaning all that good? I'm like, yeah, that's what. Get out of here. Security.
Everyone's a critic.
Everyone's a critic. So Arnie?
Yeah, that's a thumb and a half. I do want to go see this one. So.
Sorry.
Wow.
Okay. Yep, I would say 1 down, 1 middle.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And let's roll.
Yeah. All right. All right. Okay. Okay.
I'll go see it.
You'll go see it? All right. Yeah.
Go see it with me.
Kevin? Now you're just being like ultra neutral. All right. So, all right. Well, hey, folks, we got to start wrapping up the show. I want to thank everyone in the Facebook Live room: James Derelick, Elliot Baker, Tom Brew, Rob Buckland, Chris Doobie. A whole bunch of people came into the Facebook Live room in and out today. I hope you guys had fun. And thank you to everyone in the back room. I want to thank our guests, Paul Lussier. Everyone give him a hand. He did a great job. Yeah. Thank you for our guests, movie raters in the back there. All right, doing their job. Derek, thank you for coming. Did you have fun?
Of course.
Yeah. Arnie, we made it to another show.
We did.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
We're actually live this time.
We actually were live this time. Yeah. Well, on Facebook Live. We're on live television. We had an issue with the Facebook last week, but we're back up. My name is Terry Traynor, and this is KJ Traynor, and we are the hosts of the Late Night Live Show, and we are on every Wednesday from 7 to 8. So join us next week. Check it out.